my gosh, I just want to make sure my sound is working. I was doing some fancy stuff behind the scenes and I realized my face was live and I was concentrating so hard that I was looking very serious, very, very serious. Oh my gosh, over here trying to do all the wizardry of all this tech, trying to do fun things. But welcome, welcome everybody. If you don't already know me, I am Jen Shirkus, and I am here today to chat with you guys about my in-person creative journey art retreat that is going to be in November, on November 13th through the 15th in 2026, so this year. But registration is opening up on Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So I always like to host a little live to make sure I go over all of the details. Maybe you've attended before and you're just so excited to hear about it, or maybe you're curious about the event and you want to learn all about it. I welcome you. Thank you, those of you that are here live. Hello, Miss Brianne. Thanks for joining. I see some other familiar names and I see some new names too. I love that. Heather was saying it's a total bucket list trip for her. I love that. Keep it on that bucket list, Heather. Or take it off the bucket list and actually do it when you can. And I see Susan says that she's going to be able to attend this year, so that's super exciting. And I believe it's Kathy Crowley. I believe her first name is Kathy. Looking forward to finding all out about the event. So welcome, welcome. All right. So I always like to start my explanation of the Creative Journey Art Retreat by just explaining that I actually host two different in-person events here on Cape Cod. So I just want to go over that really quickly. Then I'll go over all of the details for the Creative Journey Art Retreat, and then I will answer any questions you might have. So if you have questions and you're with me live, just hold off on those for a little bit. I just want to make sure I get through my notes and I don't forget anything. If you're catching this on replay, go ahead and ask all the questions in the comments on this video, and I'll be sure to answer those. And then you also can just reach out to me on my email address, which is creative-chick@shirkus.com. I see Bradley is in the chat. Bradley is part of my creative crew that helps me at all of my in-person events. He's also one of my best friends, part of the Fun Friends crew. They all kind of got roped into helping, but we'll chat a little bit more about that as we get going. So as I said, I would like to just explain that I have two different in-person events that I host here on Cape Cod in Massachusetts. The first event, which isn't the focus of today, but I'll just explain it really quickly, is Crop on the Cape. And I actually just finished hosting that in March. It's March every year, and we just celebrated our 27th year. It has been going on since 1999. I have been part of it since 2003. And it's a really fun event where it's started in 1999 as a traditional scrapbooking crop where you would come and work on your own projects. And it's definitely morphed and grown over the years. So this past year, or this past last month, we had over 300 people attend from all over North America. And it is not just scrapbookers. We have card makers, we have mixed media artists, we have people who just come and knit, we have people who come and bring all their crafty stuff and maybe just chat the whole weekend away. But that event is something where you can sign up and have table space where you'll work on your own projects. And then if you choose to, there are a bunch of fun classes that you can sign up for an additional cost with a variety of teachers and a variety of styles of classes. There's also a bunch of vendors on site for you to be able to shop and have fun learning about new products with. This year we had some manicures going on. We had Cape Cod Nail Company come and offer manicures and pedicures. We do games, there's prizes, there's a swag bag. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but that is Crop on the Cape. Now, just a quick aside about Crop on the Cape, like I mentioned, we did just celebrate 27 years in March of 2026. So the space that we host that event actually sold, and it is no longer going to be a hotel space. So in 2027, we're actually moving the event. And at the same time, I am going to do a little rebrand of the event. I'm going to switch the name. It's no longer going to be called Crop on the Cape because I want to make sure that people know that it's not just a crop, which is associated with just scrapbooking. I want all crafters to know that they are welcome to attend the event. So I have not announced the new name and the new brand of Crop on the Cape, but I just wanted to kind of explain that. Registration for that event will still happen in November of 2026 for the March 2027 event. It's still going to be held the same weekend it has been held for a wicked long time, which is the third weekend in March. But we just have some shifting things going on just because of the new event space. If you've never visited Cape Cod before, I adore Cape Cod. Feel so lucky that I get to live here. I've actually lived here over 20 years now. I grew up in New Hampshire. But part of the Cape Cod charm is we don't have a lot of big event spaces. We don't have a lot of franchises. Everything is very small business, locally owned, locally operated, and I love that. But part of this hotel space where we used to host Crop on the Cape being sold is there is no other event space on Cape Cod of that size. It was held at the Resort and Conference Center in Hyannis, which was 11,000 square foot ballroom. And so part of the rebrand and the shift and the adjust is it will be a little bit of a smaller event in next year. However, I am a cup half full girl, and I'm actually really excited to kind of re-look at the event. Again, it's been going on for such a long time, and I'm excited to kind of give it a refresh, right? All right, so the whole reason why we're here today is to talk about the Creative Journey Art Retreat. I always like to mention Crop on the Cape because both of the logos are very similar. Part of my rebranding will hopefully fix that. So sometimes people get confused on which event is which. So I just want to make it clear, just of course, if you're interested in joining, that you're familiar with the event that fits you best. Of course, I do have people that attend both events because they like what both events offer. So the Creative Journey Art Retreat has just around 100 people attend, and it is a jam-packed weekend of creating together. The big thing about it is all directed creating, meaning I'm going to be teaching you all weekend. You will not have time to work on your own projects like you are able to do during Crop on the Cape. But the big thing, let me go back to my notes. I'm getting ahead of myself. So the big thing that I wanted to just mention is I started hosting art retreats back in 2014. And Chris and I lived in Rhode Island for a couple years. My job took me there. And so we had a 900 square foot apartment in a renovated factory building. And so really, really high ceilings, exposed brick. It was a beautiful, beautiful space. And every time I've shared pictures of me working at my Crafty table in that space, everybody was like, it's so inspiring. It must be so fun to create there. And at that same time, a lot of stores, paper crafting stores in New England were closing. And I used to manage a paper crafting store here on Cape Cod. And then in my free time, I also would travel around and teach at all the stores or a lot of the stores in the New England area. So I had acquired a lot of really fun crafty friends all over New England, which I absolutely love. So as those stores were closing, I still wanted to be able to get together with everybody and do something that I absolutely love, which is teach and have crafty time with my friends. So I looked to Chris and I was like, hey, do you mind if we just rent some tables and chairs and I invite my crafty friends over to partake in a fun day of crafting? And he's like, sure, why not? And so that was in 2014 in a 900 square foot apartment. And it was so much fun. And then as we left Rhode Island and moved back to Cape Cod, I knew that that was the opportunity for me to be able to maybe find a larger space where I could invite even more crafty friends because it was selling out so quickly, as you can imagine. 900 square feet, we did fit a lot of people because we all knew that we wanted to all attend. So we were cozy and comfy in that 900 square feet. But I wanted to be able to open it up and offer it to more people. So that's when I discovered Cape Space, which is a co-working space here in Hyannis on Cape Cod. And it's a place that if you work from home or you don't have your own dedicated office space, you can go there and host meetings or rent an office space, whatever, lots of options. And the really cool thing about Cape Space is the theme, the decor was all teal. So I was like, this is a match made in heaven. And we hosted several creative journey art retreats there until the pandemic happened. And then during the pandemic, as many people did, I shifted and I started hosting virtual creative journey art retreats. I actually have one coming up in June. I have over 300 people that attend, and I ship boxes all around the world for those events. So as the world started to open up again, I knew that I was possibly going to need an even bigger space because many people were attending virtually who I knew were probably going to want to travel and attend with me in person. And so, as much as I loved Cape Space, I was like, okay, well, this is the time for me to kind of dream. What do I want in an event space? And if you're new to me, I am a mermaid at heart. I love everything about the ocean. And I, again, feel so thankful that I get to live so close to the ocean. So if people were going to travel and hang out with me for crafty time, I also wanted them to be able to enjoy something that I enjoy so much, the ocean. So as you guys can see here outside these doors is the ocean. So all weekend as we are creating, we are looking out at the water. And this is like a pinch me moment. I love that we get to do this. It literally makes me so happy. And I know just from what everybody that has attended has said, just how nice it is. It's just that calming sense of being by the water. And not to put aside being able to do something that you absolutely love all weekend with like-minded people is just amazing. So in the fall of 2023, I started hosting my creative journey art retreats here at the Pelham House. And it was absolutely amazing. Now, the Pelham House here on Cape Cod is very popular to host weddings at. A lot of event spaces, obviously, are very popular to host events at, weddings at. So it was a little tricky getting the weekend that I wanted. And a couple of years we were able to get the weekend that we wanted, and then a couple of years we weren't. So I'm actually moving the event. It is going to actually be at the Seacrest Resort in Falmouth, Massachusetts. So those of you traveling in from other states, the distance isn't any different at all. If anything, it's a little bit closer to the bridges, but it is still a beautiful space. It won't be this space that you're seeing on the screen, but we will still be looking out at the water, at the ocean, and that was one of the really important things for me to be able to offer. Um, so last year, we had over 22 states represented at the Creative Journey Art Retreat. And I just thought that was amazing. We had somebody travel in from as far as Hawaii, and then all over the United States. Again, 22 of the states were represented. And I like to just mention that because sometimes people are like, oh, I don't live close enough, but you do. If you can get on a train, plane, automobile, you can come to the Creative Journey Art Retreat. And if it doesn't work out for you this year, again, put it on that bucket list. And I really, really hope that at some point I get to host you on Cape Cod in Massachusetts. So this year it is November 13th to the 15th. It separates us a little bit farther away from Thanksgiving, which was really important to me to be able to offer to you guys. Because again, I know many people are traveling from afar, and to get home and then immediately have to like host Thanksgiving, I thought was a little tricky. So it is further away from Thanksgiving, but it is late enough in the season so we get better discounts on event space and rooms so that it is more affordable for you guys to attend. I also just wanted to mention that if you don't have any crafty friends that want to attend with you, we actually have people come solo. We have people come with big groups of friends or just one friend. But as you can hopefully feel when you see this photo right here, you leave this weekend with a whole bunch of new friends. And I love this so much. All weekend, I have people chit-chatting with each other, exchanging email addresses and phone numbers, and staying in contact throughout the year. And then again, we have many people that attend every year, so you start to reconnect when you are attending again, which I just think is so fun and just a nice bonus of actually, being able to attend in person. So also, I wanted to mention that if you are planning on attending, many people will travel with their partners, their husbands, their wives, their boyfriends, their girlfriends, whoever it is. They'll travel with their partners and they'll make a vacation out of it. They'll either get here early or leave later. You can explore Cape Cod, you can explore Boston. There's just so much to see. One thing about New England and Massachusetts is there's so much history. My East Coast Fawny bestie, Shari, and her husband Matt visited last fall, and we were exploring Cape Cod and Boston, and I was seeing some things that I've never seen, even though I've lived in New England my whole life. So it is really, really so much fun. I'm just chuckling at a couple of the comments. One, yes, Danielle flew in from Amsterdam 10 years ago for Crop on the Cape. That was so amazing. And I know it's on her bucket list to get to one of my in-person events again soon. It'll be a little bit shorter flight, hopefully. And then I see Tess is here, and I'm talking about bringing your partners, your wives, your husbands, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, and she says, and their pool boys. That's what she calls her husband, her pool boy. And I actually got to meet him for the first time last year, even though Tess has been taking my classes for a very, very long time. Okay, so when and if you want to register, I really encourage you, if you don't already have an account set up on my website, be sure to set it up ahead of time. Make sure you know your login, your username, and your password. This event doesn't typically sell out right away, but it's just good to kind of get all that situated ahead of time so that you're not stressed during registration. You can register for your friends. So if you and your friend or you and a couple friends are attending together, one person can register. That's actually a lot easier, so we can make sure we have all of your information together. During registration, you're going to sign up for however many people you are paying for. You'll go ahead and finish paying. And then after you're done that process, my website will bump you over to a form. And in that form is when you can give me the first name, last name, and email address of each each person that you're registering. It's very, very important that we get that information for each person. Because throughout the next few months leading up to the event, there are times that I need to make sure I can reach out to all of you. And of course, we'll be making name tags and different things, so we need to make sure we have all of that information. Also, you'll be bumped to that form. If you didn't register for any friends, there's still that opportunity on that form to put in any seating requests so that we can sit you with who you want to sit with. And then there's a place to put any dietary restrictions that you may have. During the event, lunches are provided on Saturday and Sunday, and we also have like a grab and go breakfast on Saturday and Sunday as well. I should have started. The event starts on Friday in the evening, and we start with a glitter all of the things dessert soiree. And this has become much more fun than I ever imagined. It's kind of morphed into this event. And what it is it's a great time for us to get together before the event starts, before all the teaching and creating starts. And it's just a great mingle where we can all meet each other. And now it's a glitter all of the things dessert soiree. And that just means that you can come in your sparkly attire, or you can just rock your glitter all of the things crafty gear, or you can just wear whatever is most comfortable for you. But it's a lot of fun. There are desserts available, so that is included for all attendees. However, if you are attending or traveling with a partner and you would like them to be able to attend the dessert soiree, there will be a time that you can pay for a ticket for them to help offset the costs of those yummy desserts. During the dessert soiree, the pop-up shop will be open. I have a pop-up shop available with a lot of my items, and then a lot of the sponsors. I'll have a lot of their products for sale on site. And if you pre-ordered anything, you can pick it up during the dessert soiree. So yeah. So then, and we have a cash bar during the dessert soiree. I forgot to mention that tiny little part. And then Saturday, we run from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. We'll have an hour break for lunch. And then Sunday, we run from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. And again, we will have an hour break for lunch. There is an on-site restaurant at the hotel. So in the evenings, if you want to go ahead and partake in dinner there, or you can also just kind of explore the Falmouth area and try different restaurants in the area as well. So as I mentioned earlier when I saw Bradley was watching, so I have some amazing friends. Out of my group of fun friends, only Josie is an actual crafter, paper crafter. But I have Jen and Lindsay and Brad and 27 and my boyfriend Chris. They are all part of the creative crew, and they will be there all weekend helping me make sure that the event runs as smooth as possible and you guys are able to have the best time ever. The cost of the event is $395. That doesn't include your hotel room. All of the hotel room details and prices and the link to register for a room are all on my Creative Journey website. Let me just bump back to that screen, I think. Yeah, so shirkus.com/art-retreat. If you go there, scroll down, you'll find all the information about lodging. So as I mentioned, the event does cost $395, and part of what is included in that registration fee is everybody gets a box of goodies. And I say box, it's not always in a box. Sometimes it's in something different, but it is products from our sponsors. Let me actually go to that screen since we're talking about the sponsors. So it is a box of goodies from all of our sponsors that you can see here. I would not be able to host an event like this without these amazing sponsors. There also might be one or two additions to this sponsor list as we get closer to the event. But so far we have Colorado Craft Company, Gina K Designs, Honeybee Stamps, Lawn Fawn, Newton's Nook, Pink and Main, Pink Fresh, Ranger, Stampers Anonymous, and Tim Holtz are all sponsors for this event. So you're going to get a bunch of product, stamps, dies, stencils, and such that will value usually at least $200, if not more. And then also included in, and some of those products are exclusive to this event only, which is really exciting. Also included is you will get card kits, meaning pre-stamped, pre-die cut, pre-cut paper card kits. So there's no homework involved. And we make at least 12 cards. We often make more because I get carried away and have so much fun once I start planning. But we make at least 12 card kits. And again, that's a lot of work for the friends that kit for me. Right now, Dawn and Lisa and Heidi are super hard at work getting ready with card kits for my virtual event. And there's no homework, but sometimes maybe on Saturday night, I'll have you have to fussy cut something, but it's a lot of fun. There's also included is a printed booklet with pictures of all of the cards that we will be creating, a supply list for all of the cards. There'll be coloring guides and all kinds of really helpful information. I think one thing that we are a little hesitant about post-pandemic about attending in-person events is we're so used to attending online events where we can watch it at our own pace, that at an in-person event you might be nervous that you won't be able to keep up with the event, or you might get tired later in the day or what have you. But the other really cool thing about this event that I offer is you not only will you have that printed booklet with information about all of your projects, but when you go home, you will have access to tutorial videos for all of the cards. So if at one point during the in-person event, you got behind or you just kind of fizzled out later in the day, you can go home and watch the tutorial video and finish putting your projects together. So, and that's really nice too, because I know sometimes when I attend an in-person crafting event, you're so focused on what you're making, you sometimes forget what you learned. And so what's nice about having access to these tutorial videos is you can kind of rewatch and absorb the information on some of the techniques that we will be learning. That is the other really cool thing that I love about this event. Is, as you can see from the list of sponsors, it's a wide variety of different sponsors. So we're going to do a lot of different styles. We're going to do a little whimsical, we're going to do a little elegant, we're going to do a little artsy, and some of those might get you out of your comfort zone. But I think what is amazing is that getting out of that comfort zone during a class is really great because you have guidance and you have less chance of being frustrated by not being able to figure something out. And I've heard it so many times over the years that I've been teaching that you're like, oh, that really wasn't my jam. I never really wanted to try that. But now that I've tried that, I actually really liked it. So that's what's really cool about doing those classes. All right. Prior to the event, I will supply you guys with your supply list of what you need to bring. It's not something that I can share now, and I can't share the projects now because I haven't designed the projects yet. The projects won't get designed until later in the summer, early fall. And so if you're curious if this event is for you, I would encourage you guys to just search on social media for Creative Journey Cape Cod. You'll kind of see the styles of cards that we have made from what people have shared. I share and also attendees share in my Facebook group, my Creative Chick Studio Share Facebook group. You can see a lot of the projects that are made during an art retreat. If you have any specific questions, again, you can always reach out to me by emailing me at creative-chick@chircus.com, and I can even send you some links where you can kind of see past projects that we have made. But I will share a supply list with you guys. It's a fairly basic supply list. You'll want to have a coloring medium. I'll probably be using Copic markers, which are alcohol-based markers, but you can bring whatever it is you like to color with. It could be colored pencils or another brand of alcohol-based markers. There's often a couple ink pads that you'll need, and then your regular tools and adhesives. I also do end up offering a pre-order so that any of the items you don't have, you can pre-order right directly through me, and it'll be there at the event for pickup, so you don't have to worry about tracking it down. But if you have done any classes with me or any virtual Creative Journey art retreats, you guys kind of know a lot of the supplies are similar, and we reuse the same supplies over and over. I also have a video where I go over all the supplies with you guys as we get closer to the event, and I offer up any substitutions. I also share with you guys like how I would pack it, because I know traveling, people sometimes get nervous about having enough space. So I usually pack it in some zippered mesh bags. I'm looking around me because I thought maybe I had one and I don't. But the zippered mesh bags, and I even weigh it for you so you guys have a sense of how much weight it will be. Again, for those of you that are flying in. This is, catered towards paper crafters, and I want to spoil you and treat you. It's definitely a retreat. I think we all deserve to treat ourselves here and there, so that's really what I focus on for this event. Plus, we're near the ocean, right? And after you have signed up, I hope you're going to sign up. I would absolutely love if you share with your crafty friends. I even share a graphic on the Art Retreat website where you can download that and share it on your social media, helping me spread the word. Being a small business of one, sometimes it's really hard to have your posts show up in the social media world. So the more that you guys all help share and spread the word, I so appreciate, and it really does make a big, big difference. The other thing I just wanted to mention, and then I'll answer any questions you guys have, so you can start to put those in the chat if you're with me live today, is a lot of times people will ask, and I did explain this on the Art Retreat website under travel, but there are actually two options for you guys to be able to fly in. You can either fly in to Boston, or you can fly into TF Green, which is in Rhode Island. And so if you don't know, Boston can sometimes be tricky with traffic. If it's rush hour, either in the morning or in the afternoon, it can take a little bit longer to get in and out of the city. So sometimes looking at TF Green in Rhode Island, even if the flight is a little bit more money, your travel getting in and out of Rhode Island will be less trafficky. The mileage from both airports to the Cape is almost the same. So it's not like one is further or closer. It's just that traffic in the Boston area that kind of puts a wrench into things. So just keep that in mind when you're planning your travel. And again, you can always reach out to me and ask any questions. All right. Okay, so let me answer any questions that you guys have. I love it. Heather says, I want to meet all the people, right? And Susan says, I'll be solo. That's fine. That is great. You're going to walk away with a bunch of new friends. Denise says, Cape Cod is one of my favorite places. It is so my favorite place. And Kathy says, my husband's coming along. So I love that. We do have lots of partners that come and then they venture off during the crafty days and do their own thing, right? Denise says that the creative crew are rock stars, and they really are. It's kind of funny to me. I still haven't quite figured it out, but they absolutely love helping me at my events. And I couldn't do it without them. They're amazing. They take time off from work, and it's a lot of work. And so I'm so thankful, but it's really become kind of like a perk for the events, is to be able to hang out with the creative crew because they really are a ton of fun. Heather's asking, are there other hotels nearby as well? Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Cape has a lot of hotels, being Cape Cod, so you would just want to search around. Although I would recommend staying right on site so that you don't have to have that extra logistic of getting to and from. But definitely check out what is available in the area. Susan says, I love TF Green. If I can, I try to fly into there. Yeah. When I used to live in Rhode Island, Chris and I only lived like 15 minutes from TF Green. It was very, very nice. It's definitely a little different now getting up to Boston. Denise says, question, would we need to bring our own die cut machine? No, definitely not. And honestly, I list a paper trimmer, which my favorite paper trimmer is this 8-inch paper trimmer from Tim from Tonic. But you don't even need to bring this because honestly, if we need to trim anything down, you can always do that later, and you can always assemble your cards later. So there's nothing large that needs to be brought. I think a stamping platform is probably the largest thing, and I would say bring a mini stamping platform. Hi, Miss Libby. I'm so late, darn. Aw, you're cute. Yeah, Terry says TF Green is much easier to manage, both the airport and the traffic outside the airport, than Boston. It is, and I mean, I've flown in and out of Boston so much just from traveling to teach over the past 3 years. It's not horrible. However, Rhode Island is a lot easier. I have my window open. I'm hoping a neighbor just started some lawn equipment. Hopefully it's not too loud for you guys. It is like the first day we have like 70-degree weather on Cape Cod. So we've got all the windows open. Honestly, this long sleeve is a little too warm. I'll be changing after the live, but I had to wear my creative journey. So yeah. And Libby says TF Green is so great, but warning, you do have to walk what seems like forever to get a rental car. I think that's the same at Boston too, to be honest. All right. Are there any other questions? I'm going to just look at my notes real quick. I feel like I didn't look down at them as much, but I kind of have most of it memorized. I just want to make sure that that I didn't forget anything. Yeah. All right. Yeah. The other quick thing I just wanted to mention is I've made so many upgrades to my website over the years. I think I have finally figured out no more crashes during registration. But sometimes when you're going to register, you might have a question for me. The best way to reach me is to make sure, oh, I'm going the wrong way, guys. There we go. The best way to reach me is to email creative-chick@shirkus.com. So don't tag me in a post in my Facebook group. Don't message me on Facebook. Don't message me on Instagram. Don't text message me. Definitely email me because that's the easiest way for me to monitor and answer your questions quickly. So registration opens this Friday, which I think is the 17th. I just want to double check that. Yeah, Friday the 17th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. But if you have questions about the event, definitely email me ahead of time. We've got a few days if you're watching this live or you're watching it on replay close to the live. Ask me questions ahead of time, and I'm happy to answer any of those for you. But during the registration process, if something's not working for you, or you're having difficulties, please, please, please email me. Messaging me all the other ways, I might not see it for quite a while because I'm monitoring emails first. Question, how much space will we have? I'm wondering where to store our tools while crafting. Let me just go back to that photo of the tables. So since we're changing events spaces, we've often used round tables like you can see here, but we're actually going to be using oval tables next year, okay? And so you will see we are cozy. I'm not going to pretend we're not, but you don't need to bring anything extra that isn't on the supply list. So please, 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 no need to do that. And you'll see people have enough space to put their craft sheet down or their glass mat down, and then they put supplies in front of them. And most people just bring their supplies in a over-the-shoulder bag. So that is what works best. Because Susan was also asking, what do people use to bring their tools to use in the event space? Again, let me try to, here's a zippered pouch. I end up showing you guys how you'll be able to pack your supplies in a zippered pouch like this. So, and sometimes it might be 2 zippered pouches, but you just bring a reusable shopping bag if you're flying and just plop these 2 zippered pouches into your reusable shopping bag and you'll be good to go. And you'll be able to stay set up overnight, so you don't have to unpack and pack and unpack and pack. All right. So yeah, thanks Denise for popping in during your lunch break. I appreciate that. So yeah, I don't think that there are any other questions, but again, if there are, feel free to reach out to me, creative-chick@shirkus.com. Another huge shout out to these amazing sponsors. Some of these sponsors have been with me since the beginning, since I did host this in a 900 square foot space. But all of them have been super supportive of many of my events. And I appreciate that so, so much. Again, would not be able to do it without them. All right, you guys, I can't wait for registration. It's always so exciting for me to see the names that come in, whether they're familiar names or new names. I can't wait to see all of you guys here on Cape Cod in Massachusetts in November. I hope you guys all have an amazing rest of your day. And oh, I did have one more quick thing I wanted to say. If you have listened to all of this and attending in person is still just on your bucket list, you know you won't be able to attend this November. I do just want to remind you guys, I actually have a few more of my self-paced Creative Journey Art Retreat boxes available. So these are the projects that we made last November. And long story short, I over ordered a little bit. So there are still some kits available. You'll get a box of goodies in the mail, and all the kits are all done for you, and you get access to videos and handouts and coloring guides. Again, this is ready to ship now, so you can do this at your own pace. On a rainy day here and a rainy day there, 10 minutes here, a half an hour there. It's really fun actually to have on hand, to just have something to work on. So definitely check that out. This is the link to go see it, or you can go to my shop and go under project kits and you'll find it there as well. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited and I can't wait, like I said, to see you guys all here on Cape Cod in November. And we will see you on registration on Friday. Bye, guys.